It certainly was not a pretty game by the Raptors, but a win is a win at the end of the day in their bid to make a push for a play-in spot or even a top 6 spot to make the playoffs without having to go through the troubles of the play-in tournament. The Raptors on a run here. They've won 7 of their last 8. Let's break down how this one unfolded in quite the ugly manner that it did in today's post-game show. All right, everybody. Raptors win 95-91. They complete, I believe that is the complete season sweep of the Detroit Pistons. At least that is 3 wins against the Pistons this season. It seems as though the Pistons curse, the Dwane Casey curse, is well and truly over. None of the wins against the Pistons have been comfortable in any fashion, but like we said, a win is a win. The Raptors, they move up to 30-31. They have not been 500 since I believe they were 13-13 when they lost the first of a back-to-back away at the Orlando Magic. So they have been climbing. The team today, we've seen improvements. We've seen improvements lately. Today they did not show them. The first 3 quarters were some of the worst quarters of basketball I may have ever seen. It was lifeless. It was dead. The effort from the Raptors was completely off, not there. The shot making wasn't there. Like, the action on offense wasn't bad. But man, the amount of open opportunities the Raptors had that they were not taking was incredibly stressful. It was a stressful game. It was a rough performance. But I've seen the Raptors play well and lose plenty of games this season. So I am completely comfortable with the Raptors playing poorly and winning games, especially at this point in the season when we're chasing every win, as many wins as possible. Certainly, we play like this against the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow, we're going to get run out of the gym, but I don't believe that will be the case. For some reason, the Raptors have a knack for playing down to the level of the Detroit Pistons. Like, listen to this starting 5. I mean all the hate when I say this is a garbage team. Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, Isaiah Stewart, Bojan Bogdanovic, and James Wiseman. That is a garbage team. Okay? And they made it a game. And a lot of the times, the Pistons, because of Dwane Casey, the Pistons, they don't make the playoffs. They don't play in any big games. This is their big game. This is their championship game. So they play up to the occasion. Well, they didn't really do it here. They didn't really play well either. The effort is usually much higher from the Pistons side. They usually light us up from 3. That wasn't the case today. Both teams straight up just played poorly here. But I guess the talent of the Raptors got them over the line in the end. And shout out to a really good pocket at the start of the 4th quarter with the bench in to kind of set the tone and bring the energy to the quarter that we needed. All right, let's go into exactly how all this unfolded from a box score standpoint. So, Pascal Siakam played really, really well here. All right, that's the end of the positives, really. In all seriousness, Siakam was excellent. 29 points in this one. Was carrying us through large portions of the game where it was not going well. He was always on point. Started rough from the free throw standpoint, but cleaned it up late in the clutch free throw settings. 29 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 9 of 19 shooting. That is an NBA All-Star, ladies and gentlemen, and a player making a push for an All-NBA team this season. OG still finding his feet, recovering from that injury. Defense looks solid, but the offense still hasn't quite gotten going yet. Barnes struggled for much of this game. He had 0 points at halftime, but playing a bit out of position. I think he's going to start to look a lot better when Fred is here and Pirtle's playing. He'll be able to play as the point forward role that suits him best. We are kind of seeing with Scotty Barnes. I know a lot of people think that you can replace Van Vliet with Barnes because Barnes just be your point guard. There's a lot of what Van Vliet does that makes him a good point guard that Barnes just does not have. First of all, just to say like the overall playmaking, Van Vliet is superior in those spots. To take the ball handling load, Van Vliet is superior. And Van Vliet having the pull-up jumper provides a lot more versatility to our offense in the pick and roll settings. So that is why it is still necessary to have a point guard like Fred Van Vliet. And people have said Barnes can take that job. He can't. But What he is great at and what he excels at is playing as a point forward. So once we get him back into those spots, I think we'll be seeing a lot more from Scottie Barnes for these Raptors teams, not just late on in the games. So just wanted to make that clear about the positioning. I like when Scottie Barnes initiates the offense in a full court setting, but in a half court setting, you very much need a guy like Fred VanVleet. Further down the list, Jakob Poeltl, 3 of 8 from the field. The Pistons did what other teams did not do against Poeltl. If he had a good look at the rim, they fouled him, took away some easy shots, but the 14 rebounds were important here. 6 offensive ones as well. One of them was late, which was impressive. And the overall defense of Poeltl was once again very useful. Trent struggled for a lot of the game, came alive late with some big buckets. No matter how poorly Gary Trent plays, I always have a lot of faith in him to be able to score in the clutch. On the bench, it was pretty much an 8-man rotation today. Achua improved in the fourth quarter, as did Boucher. Jeff Dowden was solid once again. I think will continue to be the backup point guard as long as Fred VanVleet is out. Was very confused. Thaddeus Young got the start of the second quarter after the Raptors looked horrendous in the first quarter. I think they gave up 9 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. Somehow, Nick Nurse decided, well, hey, we're getting beat up on the glass and in the paint, and we can't score on the inside. Thaddeus Young is the guy to come in. That made no sense. This game probably could have used more of Joe Wieskamp, where a lot of the Raptors struggled to score, especially early in this game. I thought the floor spacing could have been something that would have helped us out. And I think against a lowly Pistons team like this, we could have hit his lack of ability on defense, but Nurse kept it tight, ended up getting the job done. Only thing I want to highlight from their side is that Marvin Bagley got 11 offensive rebounds. We made him look like Giannis today. 21 points, 18 rebounds, 11 of them offensive. This game was stressful and frustrating. Team stats, like I said, the Raptors did not play well. They shoot 33 of 88, good for 37.5% shooting. 3-point percentage was even worse, 27%. Free throw percentage, we took 34 free throws to their 14 and only hit 65% of them. This game should have been a runaway win for the Raptors if they played as they normally do. It also didn't help that they out-rebounded us 62-46 and had 17 offensive rebounds to our 10. Marvin Bagley had more offensive rebounds than our entire team. We forced a lot of turnovers, 16-8. Did not score quite enough on those turnovers as I would have liked. Wow. There was a lot not to like about this game. But at the end of the day, the Raptors, they won. They won the game. That's all we need right now. Upcoming stretch for the Raptors. Some winnable games on the horizon, but also some tough games. Raptors play the Cavs tomorrow. That's going to be tough. And then 3 really, really important games against the Bulls, the Wizards twice. Bulls and the Wizards twice. Looking at the standings, Wizards 10th, Bulls 11th. We're in 9th. If you come through and win these 3 games, at the very least, it's double elimination for you in the play-in tournament. At the very least, it's double elimination, and you're a top 8 seed. It does get harder after that. Some West Coast games are difficult. And then to finish, there is another game against the Pistons. I said earlier we swept the Pistons season series. One more game against the Pistons. It gets a little bit difficult, but then near the end of the season, Celtics twice in the Bucks. I'm really, really hoping those teams have locked in seeding and playoff position so that we have lesser lineups put against us. But we're going to need every win we can get. We've seen the Raptors struggle, but a win is a win. One area of concern that I continue to have here, we saw it today against the Pistons. We saw it 2 days ago against the Pelicans. We saw it before the break against the Pistons 2 weeks ago. We saw it against Utah right before the All-Star break. This team, the Raptors, they're struggling to close games right now. They're very, very much struggling to close games. A lot of them are still winning, but I feel like some better teams can take advantage of the lack of scoring that we have late in these games and how we falter. But hasn't cost us yet. Let's fix those things. Once again, I'm going to take as many wins as I can get, even if they come as ugly as this one. If you guys enjoyed what you saw today, make sure to like this, does go a long way to supporting the channel, helping us get on some more recommended pages. And for more Raptors content just like this, please make sure you are subscribed to Amateur Hour. Join the Amateur Hour Army today. Thank you once again.